Welcome to the Tech Mobility Podcast, brought to you by Playbook Investors Network, your strategic partner for unstoppable growth. Visit pincommunity.org to get started.
I'm Ken Chester. On the docket, why EV demand is not tanking, the truth about solar generators, and a clinic in a box. To join the conversation, be it to ask a question, share an opinion, or even suggest a topic for future discussion, call or text the Tech Mobility Hotline. That number, 872-222-9793, or you can email the show directly, talk@techmobility.show. For those of you who enjoy Substack, you can find me there too, at Ken C. Iowa. That's K-E-N, the letter C, I-O-W-A. I'm a proud member of the Iowa Writers Collaborative. Check it out. From the Tech Mobility News Desk, I have mixed emotions. Lexus has announced that the 2026 Lexus LS 500 will be the last one they ever make. Called the Heritage Edition, it is the end for a vehicle that built an entire brand and honestly changed a lot about how luxury vehicles in the United States, if not the world, are looked at. It was Lexus who came up with certified pre-owned. It was Lexus who came in after the Europeans and challenged their very dominance in building a luxury car till up to that time was exclusively in the territory of the Germans and the Italians. In 1989, the Lexus LS 400 was introduced to American roadways, and I remember the first one I saw. I chased the guy. I'd never seen anything like it. And in their relentless pursuit of perfection, the LS 400 redefined electric car. Can you imagine? Bulletproof Japanese reliability with opulence and luxury and at a level that you have not seen come from Japan before. At a level that actually honestly rivaled what BMW and Mercedes was building there. Now, make no mistake, the LS 400 was not a performance car, but it was every bit a luxury car, every bit. And while the Germans did hold an edge in performance for a while, Lexus went toe-to-toe with them on quality and on luxury. Lexus is only going to build 250 2026, all will be identified as the Heritage Edition. And like I said, I have mixed emotions because this car started everything. This is the car that launched the brand successfully. This is the car that people aspired to own. This is the car that rewrote the rules in the early 1990s on so many levels. Customer service, pre-owned vehicles, what expectations, and what luxury, if you allow me to borrow a term from another automaker, what a luxury car should be and was and is. I will say, and this has been a criticism that I have leveled at Lexus as of late, is that while I would even go the first 20 years, the Lexus was the vehicle to beat, and the LS being the pinnacle of that. Lexus would take it to another level with a hybrid and an extended wheelbase. And by that time, the vehicle was north of $100,000, but was worth every penny. I remember driving an extended platform hybrid Lexus LS that came in at over $120,000. It was an amazing car. And no, this was not recent. It was maybe 8-10 years ago. It was still amazing car, 36 years. But like everything right now in the automotive market, a combination of things have conspired to doom the passenger car. Our love affair with SUVs, our desire for hybrids, and for a few of us, electrics and more. The fact that, unfortunately, a sedan just doesn't cut it for a lot of people anymore. This vehicle will be equipped with a twin-turbo V6 and priced at $100,730. They say it's $19,000 more than last year's base price. And trust me, every single one of those 250 will be fully loaded. And I guarantee you, those cars, if they don't double in price, may quadruple in price. Now, I have talked to my local Toyota people that have press pool cars about getting one. I want to drive one. I want to have the last word. And I absolutely promise you, if we are fortunate to get behind the wheel of a 2026 Lexus LS 500 Heritage Edition, you will be the first to know. We'll do pictures. We might even do something live. It's the end of an era. It's the end of an era. And the challenge for Lexus is, can they remain relevant in this era? As I said before, I'm concerned about their design. It doesn't wow anymore. It is every bit the reliable and awesome car it's been, but styling, I think, has gotten kind of stale in recent years. It just doesn't have that wow factor anymore. As other automakers and even mass market brands have upped their game, had produced some amazing styling. If you've ever sat in a Genesis, any of them, from the GV60 and the cars all the way up to the GV80, I guarantee you, you sit in that thing, you will be wowed. And here's a sleeper that blew my mind, the Lincoln Nautilus. I fell in love with it the minute I opened the door. It said luxury. There was no question it was a luxury vehicle. The Lexus, on the other hand, says we're solid, we're here, we're reliable, we're a little stodgy, we've got a little older. But it will be missed. It will be missed. One more story for your consideration. Honda has announced at their East Liberty plant, which was their first assembly plant, that their pre-production vehicle, their joint venture with Sony, known as Sony Honda Mobility, are building their first pre-production vehicles. Now, the press release I read, and I read this in the EV report, talked extensively about what Honda is doing quality-wise, an additional quality gateway to check things, and the Honda side, bringing everything to bear from the Honda side. Where this is light is the Sony side. I'm not reading and I'm not seeing a whole lot of information about the Sony side, where they're bringing in the entertainment, they're bringing in the electronics, they're bringing in that aspect of the vehicle. Nothing here about where they're at with that development. A lot here about the history and the craftsmanship and the reliability and the investment. They chose East Liberty for a reason. Of all the Honda plants that they could have chose, East Liberty was the first and has the most history. Over 35 years of automotive experience is in that plant and with those workers. Those folks understand the Honda brand. And this piece talks a great deal about that and the rigorous standards. What concerns me, though, is you're only talking about half the car. The other half, which is as equally important, and this was notably silent about, was the Sony half. What Sony's bringing to the party, how far along are they developing all of that, the interactivity and AI, I imagine, and the autonomous parts. I haven't heard anything from the Sony side. So I'm wondering, really, how far is the Afeela one actually, they expect to start selling this next year, and I believe it'll be a 2027 model. But I'm curious to find out everything that makes it work, everything the consumer interacts with, is going to be Sony. The underlying quality, assembly, and structure is going to be Honda. Something to think about. With the end of EV credits, the pundits predicted EV sales would drop off a cliff. Not so fast. You are listening to the Tech Mobility Show.
In business, opportunity doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Playbook Investors Network, we connect visionary entrepreneurs with the strategies, resources, and capital they need to win. Whether you're launching, scaling, or reimagining your business, our network turns ambition into measurable success. Your vision deserves more than a plan. It deserves a playbook that works. Playbook Investors Network, where bold ideas meet bold results. Visit pincommunity.org today.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than AONmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. AONmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show.
Every great business starts with a spark, but taking it to the next level takes strategy, connections, and capital. That's where Playbook Investors Network comes in. We're your strategic partner for accelerating growth, navigating challenges, and capturing market opportunities before your competition does. Your business is more than an idea. Let's make it an impact. Playbook Investors Network. Your future starts here. Learn more at pincommunity.org.
There are many cars built safe enough, luxurious enough, and powerful enough to let you drive to the ends of the earth. But only one that makes you want to take the trip. Presenting the BMW 5 Series.
The BMW 5 Series. That is one seriously amazing car. It's about the same size as an Audi A6 or a Mercedes E-Class. And I can tell you, driving that vehicle put a smile on your face. It's just an amazing car. It was an amazing car 30 years ago when that commercial ran. That was 1995. And I can literally tell you, amazing car. One variant of that car was called the M5, which was actually a 10-cylinder gasoline-powered vehicle, a V10. Yeah, you will run out of road before you run out of engine in that car. Amazing car. Just an amazing car. If you ever get the chance, you owe yourself, put that on your bucket list. Take it for a spin. Even now, doesn't matter. Still an amazing car. Despite the end of the $7,500 EV tax credit at the end of September, 5 other factors are supporting demand for battery electric vehicle sales. Imagine EV demand without government assistance. Go figure. This is topic A. Let's put this in perspective. Yes, when they announced the end of these credits at the end of September, there was a bump. That is to be expected. There was a big bump in sales in anticipation of that. And even after it, for about a month, a little bit, some of the automakers did carry some sort of extension or financial assistance in lieu of. But they expect all that to go away. Now, I get a lot of response from folk that tell me, the government, they're making you buy them. They're making you buy them. They're for rich people. They're making you buy them. Nobody wants them, but they're making you buy them. Hold on, people. Not true. And this is from Ward's Auto. This is not some left-wing liberal magazine. This is an industry trade magazine that I'm quoting from. Industry Trade, the Automotive Industry Trade magazine, the magazine that people in the auto industry read. Let me give you something. Several pillars of support for the EV market are not going away. And this according to Tom Condrat, global lead for advanced analytics at Urban Science. Here are the 5 pillars. Number 1, current battery electric vehicle owners like their vehicles and will continue to buy electric vehicles. Ooh, actually like them. They bought them and they like them. Think about that. More market entries at lower price points. Let me give you a number. This is according to Experian. Right now, this minute, there are 4.69 million battery electric vehicles on the road in the United States, not hybrids, not extended range, pure electrics on the road in the United States of America. Now, fairness, that pales to the 250 million that are on the road in gasoline and others, but still kind of major. There are more models in the market now than ever before. If you go back 5 years, 6 years, it was mainly Tesla. And of course, Nissan had the Leaf, and that was pretty much it. And if you're thinking of the Chevy Volt with a V, it was a range extender. It wasn't really a pure EV. Since then, the new Leaf's coming out. Volkswagen has models out. Chevy has models out. Hyundai and Kia has models out. Ford has models out. And that's just counting them. There's Rivian. The Tesla Model 3 has come out since then. And others getting ready to come to the market. What do they have in common? Most everything I quoted, these automakers are selling below $50,000. Some below $40,000. And some right at $30,000. And these are pure EVs. So number 2 is more affordable choices. Number 3, rising consideration of battery electric as consumers see more on the road. You get a chance to talk to your neighbor about it. It's how I bought a Nissan Sentra in the mid-1980s. Fellow I work with owned a Nissan Stanza. He loved it. It was well equipped. I had never considered a foreign car before. But I bought my Sentra because of his experience with his Stanza. And that was back in the 80s, just as a matter of fact, that's my personal experience. So I know as people start seeing them and starting to talk to their neighbors and their co-workers and others about them, it tends to demystify stuff, particularly when they see them day in and day out. They'll ask the obvious questions. Do you have range anxiety? How is it on the road? How is it in the winter? What happens in the cold? What happens in the heat? What do you like about it? What do you don't like about it? As consumers see more, they will buy more. Number 4, continued manufacturer purchase incentives. Folks, I've told you time and time and time again that the auto industry, the American, well, the global auto industry, I say American, but really the global automotive industry is a capital-intensive, long lead time industry. Just because sales ain't here and now, and just because you've read in the press about certain programs being deferred or canceled, they still have hard investment. They still have factories online. They still are committed to building a certain amount of them. The Chevy Equinox EV, the Kia EV6, the Kia EV9, the Hyundai Ioniq 5, the Hyundai Ioniq 6, the Hyundai Ioniq 9 are not going away. And by the way, the Hyundai Ioniq 9 was just their newest model, pure EV, built in a smack brand new assembly plant that just opened, their meta plant down in Georgia, brand spanking new this year. The automakers are not thrown in the towel. Their plans will change. This has been the industry for over 120 years. It will continue to be, but they're going to still be here. Number 5, expanding public charging infrastructure. I told you that would happen. Even though the current administration has clawed a lot of that back, there's still enough of it in process and coming online now that's already committed that will change the atmosphere. And we haven't even talked about even more vehicles coming. The timing may have changed, but the commitment has not changed. All these things will come together where they expect it to drop off for a little bit, but to stabilize in the next year to 18 months. All in all, folks, EVs are here to stay. They may grow a little slower, but they're not going anywhere. They're going to be part of the mix for quite a while. Portable solar generators are a thing, but should you consider one? Our research is next. This is the Tech Mobility Show.
You've got the drive. You've got the vision. Now you need the right partner to make it happen. At Playbook Investors Network, we power ambitious leaders with the tools, insight, and investment connections to move faster, grow stronger, and lead markets. We're more than advisors. We're your co-pilots in success. Because in business, standing still is not an option. Playbook Investors Network, fueling ambition, delivering results. Visit pincommunity.org.
Did you know that Tech Mobility has a YouTube channel? Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Each week, I upload a few short videos of some of the hot topics that I cover during my weekly radio program. I've designed these videos to be informative and entertaining. It's another way to keep up on current mobility and technology news and information. Be sure to watch, like, and subscribe to my channel. That's the Tech Mobility Show on YouTube. Check it out. I start this segment with an apology. The idea for this segment came from a listener at one of our stations, KXEL, in Waterloo, Cedar Falls. And the reason why I owe Jim Webb an apology is it took me a while to come around and actually do the research for this. Jim reached out to me back early this summer, and he was curious about solar generators. And he wasn't sure. He talked about Jackery and Bluetti and Delta series from EcoFlow. He wasn't sure what was good, what wasn't good, what's the deal, what's all about it. Now, I had a passing knowledge about solar generators, and I really didn't know much about them until now. And as usual, you're going to benefit from my research on the topic. So this one's for you, Jim. Please accept my apology for taking so long to get back to you. This is topic B. Now, while Jim is in the know, I'm going to assume the rest of you are not. So before I get into the recommendations that Jim is looking for and where I got them and why, let me explain what we're talking about here. Because these are really a thing. And a solar generator is a portable power station that uses solar panels to charge a battery, which then uses an inverter to provide AC power for devices. Now, what's an inverter? An inverter turns DC power into AC power that can be used in a home because your electrical appliances are designed to run on alternating current, not direct current. And that the way these things work are on direct current, so there needs to be a change. That's what the inverter does. It is an eco-friendly, quiet alternative to traditional fuel-powered generators suitable for camping, emergency backup, and off-grid use. The system's components include, obviously, the solar panels to capture sunlight, a charge controller to regulate the battery's charge, a battery to store the energy, and an inverter to convert the stored DC power to usable AC power. Those things. You can get into a whole bunch of things, but let me just kind of harp on the benefits a little bit more. We talked about portability. And unlike large home solar systems, solar generators are portable and do not require a professional electrician for installation, which means if you're off the grid or you like to camp or roll in your RV, and perfect for you. In this day and time of whatever side you're on clean energy, they're clean. They're environmentally friendly alternative to gas generators, producing no harmful fumes and significantly reducing your carbon footprint. Put a finger on that. We're coming back to it. Quiet operation. When no moving parts, solar generators operate quietly, avoiding noise pollution. And versatility. They can be used for a wide range of application, from powering small devices and laptops to running larger appliances like refrigerators during a power outage. Depending on how much you want to spend and depending on your need for power, these can be different based on, one, the number of solar cells that you have, which allows it to capture more energy, the type of batteries used in your system, everything from the traditional lead batteries that you found in cars of back in the day, all the way up to very sophisticated battery chemistries. And they have their advantages and disadvantages, cost, weight, cycles, all of that, which I'm not going to get into. And then here's something that in my research I found that's got me a little bit torn because it tends to go against common sense. The documentation, I said, well, these solar batteries, you can plug them in if you need to charge them. And I'm going, well, what's the point in that? Doesn't that kind of defeat the whole purpose? But you can. The advantage I found was how quickly they charge. And obviously, the more solar cells you have, the quicker you charge. And typically, even for the big ones, you're only looking at 2.5 hours, which is not really bad. And that's with the sun. So let me get to the question that Jim Webb asked. He was wondering, he was looking at all of these. And I have more information than I have time to share with you. So, Jim, if you forgive me, I'm going to just give the highlights. And I got this information predominantly from Popular Science. And there was another one that I was looking at. And I'm looking because it was two sources. I actually went to a number of sources to see, because everybody rates a little differently, I wanted to see what name kept coming up. So, Jim, the name that kept coming up, number one, all around best, is the Jackery Explorer 2000 Plus. Now, they did give honorable mention to the EcoFlow Delta Pro, because you mentioned both. And one that you didn't mention, the Anchor 767, which is ideal for frequent use. So Explorer 2000 Plus, best overall. EcoFlow Data Pro, best for homes. And the Anchor 677, ideal for frequent use. Why does that matter? Drawing cycles, charging cycles, and the amount of draw over a period of time. All of that matters. And these have certain strengths and weaknesses. You will notice, if you are a follower of solar generators, we did not mention the larger Jackery 3000, and they even make a 5000. They didn't do that. They said the Jackery Explorer 2000 Plus and the Jackery Explorer 2000 Pro. And there are a few differences between them, but in my research, it finds that they speak both very highly. Often recommended for its versatility and power, especially when sold as a package with expansion batteries and solar panels, meaning that it's modular. You can add according to your needs. Overall high capacity, Jackery Explorer 3000 Pro. Best for frequent use, the Anchor 767 portable power station. Cycles. It has to do with the ability of the charge, discharge cycles. If you use it a lot, not all of these batteries are capable of that constant charge and discharge because they degrade over time. The Anchor 767 is best for that. If you're going to live off the grid, and this is going to be your thing, they said the Blue Eddy AC 200 Max. If none of this matters to you and you said, I want something that is climate friendly and sustainable for my home, hands down, EcoFlow Delta Pro. If you said, forget that, I'm just dealing with camping, I want something I can count on for camping, Goal Zero Yeti 1000. If your money's tight, because these run anywhere from about $2,000 to about $3,000, is kind of where you're at. If you're on a budget, Jackery Explorer 300. And if you just care about fast charging, if that is all you care about, I want a sustainable, I want a fast turnaround, EcoFlow Delta 2 Max. There are others that are notable mentions. I'm only going to pick one, and it's the Bluetti Pioneer NA. It's a newer option that uses sodium-ion chemistry, which means the price is going to be lower, and sodium as opposed to lithium, if you caught that drift. And we've talked about sodium before. So it means it's going to cost less, but it's going to be heavier. It may not be as energy dense, but they said it's fast. A high-tech clinic in a box brings doctors to healthcare deserts. We are the Tech Mobility Show.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. That's techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show.
In business, opportunity doesn't wait, and neither should you. At Playbook Investors Network, we connect visionary entrepreneurs with the strategies, resources, and capital they need to win. Whether you're launching, scaling, or reimagining your business, our network turns ambition into measurable success. Your vision deserves more than a plan. It deserves a playbook that works. Playbook Investors Network, where bold ideas meet bold results. Visit pincommunity.org today.
Did you know that Tech Mobility has a YouTube channel? Hi, I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. Each week, I upload a few short videos of some of the hot topics that I cover during my weekly radio program. I've designed these videos to be informative and entertaining. It's another way to keep up on current mobility and technology news and information. Be sure to watch, like, and subscribe to my channel. That's the Tech Mobility Show on YouTube. Check it out. It's a high-tech 8-foot by 11-foot clinic in a box. Called a care station, this box is outfitted with sensors, medical equipment, and a large screen where patients can talk with a remote medical professional. A telehealth version of a doctor's office. This could very well be the next big thing in healthcare. This is Topic C. Think back to the pandemic. People weren't going anywhere. Yet, health still an issue. Telehealth exploded. But as people quickly found out, telehealth as it was then had limitations. There was only so much they could do. There was a lot that they weren't doing, which gave it, okay, some people could benefit, but folks with any kind of chronic issues or immediate issues weren't going to get help. Fast forward. We're in an environment now that, in spite of spending the billions and trillions of dollars we spend on healthcare as a country every year, we still have uninsured people. We still have what they call health care deserts. And if you live in the upper Midwest, which is mostly rural up here, we got a lot of them. Finding capable general practitioners and nurse practitioners to go into rural communities and sparse populations has been problematic for years. Telehealth has been part of the answer, but again, limitations. So what does this do that what I would call traditional telehealth cures do not do? Well, first of all, it's bringing the equivalent of a doctor's office to you. Now, fully, the care professional is not there. The booths are equipped with sensors, medical equipment, and a large screen. The booth is designed, one, for your privacy. It meets HIPAA privacy requirements. It's cleaned between patients with ultraviolet light, which nails 99.9% of any lingering germs, bacteria, or pathogens. So it is virtually clean, which would be something else you would have a concern. If somebody comes in there, they're coughing, hacking, sick, whatever, and I'm coming in after them, how do I know I'm not going to catch some of that stuff? Well, they've taken care of that. Ultraviolet light knocks out 99.9%. Their care stations now operate in 7 states. Believe it or not, in locations that range from airports and universities to prisons and even homeless shelters. They say that a third of Americans lack access to primary care. There is a need for this. The company reasoned that since we're in a world where people are comfortable ordering mattress in a box, I'm not, but okay, not marketing towards me. The company applied the same concept to healthcare with this clinic in a box is what they call it. In designing it, they felt that the technology must be intuitive, that it must serve as an enabler, not the destination. And they knew that the last mile had to be delivered by a human because credibility, confidence, and comfort come from the human connection. So they actually refer to it as tech with a human wrapper. Because at its core, receiving healthcare is as much psychological as it is medical or financial. To a point, the care station system covers nearly all aspects of primary, urgent, and post-acute care. Think about that. We're talking about more than just a normal checkup with your doctor or your annual physical. They're talking about it could even deal with urgent and post-acute care. You step inside and without even realizing it, stand on a large scale facing a 65-inch screen. When you press the start button, a medical professional appears life-size on the screen, making the interaction feel immediate. When you're ready, the door locks and the glass fogs to ensure your privacy and maintain HIPAA compliance. Inside, the clean, secure space is equipped with the essential diagnostic tools: a blood pressure monitor, pulse oximeter, I guess is how you pronounce that, oximeter, stethoscope, and high-definition camera for your ears, throat, and nose. Your only task is pressing start. Every scan, from thermal to vitals, is automated or guided. Who would benefit? Poorer communities in rural areas, older folks who can't get around too well, folks who may be diminished either in mobility or sight or hearing. This would be a help. My question, though, knowing my interactions with medical professionals, my wife's interactions, is just how flexible and how capable is this in every single situation? My wife is petite. Her big challenge is getting the right kind of blood pressure collar for her arm. So, and usually they have to modify it somewhat to do that or change it or whatever. And let's be clear, to my knowledge, this is not dispensing any sort of shots or anything like that, which means for something physical like that, I would assume you're still going to have to travel because it ain't going to cover everything. But they are going to get a better idea of your situation and, in a lot of cases, be able to resolve the issue. They have 30 of these out in these 7 states. And in case you're wondering what states, Texas, Nevada, Florida, Alabama, South Carolina, Georgia, and Connecticut. Puerto Rico will launch next month. So who pays for this? Well, they operate on a subscription model with costs covered by the insurers, providers, hospitals, governmental agencies, major community partners, and universities. Basically, if you are using a care station, it is costing you nothing. From the moment a client comes on board, they handle everything: building, installation, maintenance, clinical care, and care management. And they designed it that way to keep the consumer out of the payment equation and make it simple. They've partnered with Provisions Health, a female-owned direct pay medical provider based in Wisconsin, to tap into its network of fully credentialed and state-licensed clinicians rather than OnMed, the company, employing its own. And yes, they have the ability for sensitive, culture-aware, bilingual representatives so that you don't have to worry if you don't speak English. You should be okay. They even have in South Florida folks who speak Creole. And it should be a help.
This is the Tech Mobility Podcast.
Every great business starts with a spark, but taking it to the next level takes strategy, connections, and capital. That's where Playbook Investors Network comes in. We're your strategic partner for accelerating growth, navigating challenges, and capturing market opportunities before your competition does. Your business is more than an idea. Let's make it an impact. Playbook Investors Network. Your future starts here. Learn more at pincommunity.org.
To learn more about the Tech Mobility Show, start by visiting our website. I'm Ken Chester, host of the Tech Mobility Show. The website is a treasure trove of information about me and the show, as well as where to find it on the radio across the country. Keep up with the happenings at the Tech Mobility Show by visiting techmobility.show. You can also drop us a line at talk@techmobility.show.
Are you tired of juggling multiple apps and platforms for meetings, webinars, and staying connected? Look no further than aonmeetings.com, the all-in-one browser-based platform that does it all. With AON Meetings, you can effortlessly communicate with clients, host virtual meetings and webinars, and stay in touch with family and friends, all in one place and for one price. Here's the best part. You can enjoy a 30-day free trial. It's time to simplify your life and boost your productivity. aonmeetings.com, where innovation meets connection. Get started today and revolutionize the way you communicate.
You've got the drive. You've got the vision. Now you need the right partner to make it happen. At Playbook Investors Network, we power ambitious leaders with the tools, insight, and investment connections to move faster, grow stronger, and lead markets. We're more than advisors. We're your co-pilots in success. Because in business, standing still is not an option. Playbook Investors Network, fueling ambition, delivering results. Visit pincommunity.org.